My name is Mark Miner. I am an investigative writer and author. In my travels, I've investigated many people and places. Watch as I seek out stories that are typically outside of the box of normal. I am the Seeker. Hello, everybody. So I wanted to talk with you today a little bit about some basic signs of human trafficking. I've been going further a little bit in this investigation. So human trafficking is a big problem in the state of Oregon. Once somebody's human trafficked, over 6,000 total average times a victim will be raped. There's 7 years life expectancy, and the odds are not good. So what is human trafficking? Human trafficking is the acquisition and exploitation of people through means such as force, fraud, or deception. The practice ensnares millions of women and girls and boys into modern-day slavery, many of whom are sexually exploited. So human trafficking, you can read this for yourself. It happens anywhere, anytime, to anybody at any opportunity the human traffickers can get. It could be somebody that's well known. It could be somebody that you just met. It could be somebody that you just stumbled across on the street. It could be somebody you trust. You never know, so you have to always be on the lookout. A lot of people think this just happens to women and small girls, but there are a lot of men and boys who are human trafficked as well. And a lot of the times, they think that because they're male, they don't get picked up. Here's a picture of a girl who just survived human trafficking. She was found, and she had been, enslaved for a lot of years. It's not good to keep quiet about any of this. Anytime you see any kind of abuse or abduction, always try to be a mandatory reporter and let people know, what's going on. So here's also something I would like for you guys to read over. There's a lot of actions on why they do this, the means of how they go about it, and the purpose of why human traffickers do this. But when it comes down to it, it's all about money and empowerment and control. It's very sick lifestyle. So let's talk about some of the basic ways you can be human trafficked. Here's a good example of right in the middle of everywhere. The best time that a human trafficker can snatch somebody is in a crowd or in a scenario such as this, right in the middle of an intersection. Another way of, coming across a human trafficker is when you're going hiking or you're on the street or something and someone looks lost. They're holding a map. They're trying to figure out where they're going, and they will stop you and ask you to help them find their location. They will befriend you. They will, try to be your friend. They will, be very charming, very ordinary looking. Not all human traffickers are dirty and druggies. They're everyday people. So when you do travel or when you do hike or something like that, just be on the lookout for people like this. Keep your distance, answer their questions, and always be aware of what's going on around you at all times. Another basic way that these human traffickers do is they'll drop a wallet or a purse or whatever, a book, a notebook, whatever, and you being a good Samaritan will pick that up and chase after them and give that back to them. They will offer you a reward, offer you to take you out to lunch, offer to take you, somewhere and reward you for that. So you have to kind of be on the lookout for that as well. If somebody drops a wallet or something, best thing to do is pick it up Put it in your pocket, walk along, take it to a police station. Don't stop. If someone questions you took their wallet, then you just drop it back on the ground and walk away. Another thing, a sign is vans. We all know this. Stranger danger, right? Well, a lot of what's been going around in social media is the white vans, but it could be any van. It could be an SUV, could be a car, could be a bus converted into a travel, thing like people live in the van life. You have to kind of watch out for those rest stops along the highway, anywhere, grocery stores, department stores, or the such. Most vans will try to take children. That this is their big priority, but they have been known to snatch adults, or teens. If you see something like this and the person looks confused, disoriented, or whatever, don't approach. Just report it. Call 911 and tell them you suspect someone's been kidnapped or abducted. Another basic thing that most human traffickers do is this. They'll leave their car seats, baby car seats, on the ground, on top of their cars, in the middle of fields. This will make people get attracted. They'll be like, oh, a free car seat. They'll stop and they will pick it up and take it. And then there'll be, people will bum rush you, or whoever the human traffickers will then approach you and strike up a conversation or the such. Also, too, if you see them out in the middle of nowhere, such as this one right here that's on the beach, doesn't look like it's well maintained or anything, those are signs for human traffickers to other human traffickers that this is a good spot to abduct people. This is how they communicate with each other. So, always keep an eye out for these baby car seats, any kind of baby toys, mobiles, anything like that. They have this unspoken language. Again, I want to just let people know that this is not just females and small girls that they abduct. This is male, female, of every race that they can get to enslave. And you won't even know half the time that these people are being abducted or have been abducted unless they give some kind of sign for help. If they do, then you always want to report that to 911. Another basic way of human traffickers to pick up people is lost pets. If you see a lost pet, of course you want to rescue it. Who wouldn't? But before you do, look around your area, see if there's anybody around, before you pick up the animal or the such, because they tend to be hiding or off in a distance a little bit, and then they'll approach you again and thank you and want to reward you. And this kind of builds trust, and then you will think that it's a nice person, that they have such a cute dog or cat or the such, and eventually it just goes downhill from there. So anytime something like this happens and you come across somebody who has been abducted or has been through this experience, the best thing to do is just to let them talk. Let them get it off their system. Don't try to understand it. And then just, once they're ready and just let them know that there's programs out there that could help them. Another sign or a thing that human traffickers do is wearing the leg cast or the arm cast. Ted Bundy did this to abduct women before he killed them. So always keep an eye out for people like this who can't help themselves and ask you to open a door or do something for them because they're injured. Again, they'll try to reward you and try to befriend you. Anytime someone's asking for help, they will do the hand clutch. They'll put the thumb tucked into the palm and squeeze their fists together. We all know this universal sign. Sometimes they won't do that. Sometimes you just have to kind of look closely. Are they quiet, subdued? Do they have bruises? Or is the person with them holding them tightly or the such? You have to look for signs. Even if you're wrong, always report. Always call 911 and tell them you suspect something, and keep them in sight until the police officers get there and not too close. So if you do suspect that, there's also a National Human Trafficking Hotline. Here's the number here, or you can text. Always report. You always want to report. So thank you again, guys, for being here with me, and I'll talk with you soon, and we'll further this investigation.